Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and we're back once again in the Alps on Transport Fever. We're just outside Bern and as you can probably tell, this is a fairly busy part of the river. We've been concentrating on upgrading for the last couple of episodes and hopefully increasing efficiency throughout the network, whether that's on the passenger line that is the Lakeside Traveller, or, well, more significantly, this rather overcrowded goods setup we've got right here. Now, I've got some work to do in order to get that finished up and operating smoothly. What are you packing there? Why are you packing construction materials? They are picked up from here. Where have you just come from? I see we've gone off script already. This is the lumber plank tool service. All right, where are you taking them? You're supposed to be taking either lumber or plank. You're going all the way to Locarno. Well, okay, fair enough. I can't really complain about it. I mean, effectively, at some point, those construction materials that have been picked up here have been transported up the river. I would imagine to Thun. No, further than that. And then they've been picked up and they're being brought back again. Most bizarre. But it's going to make profit every step of the way. The fact that it's had to travel halfway across the world in order to make its final destination when it could have simply hopped the river is a little odd, but hey, I'm not complaining. It's all good money, woefully inefficient though it may be. Anyway, yes, the Lakeside Traveller we looked at last time around, and I'm going to try and find one here. There we go. There we are. You here? Speak to me. Now, it's not as lengthy a train as I might have hoped. Running the 3.5, I would have quite liked to stick another wagon on there, but when it came down to it, ran a bit short on the old cash. The good news, however, is if we pay attention to our leaderboard of profits here, which I shall fling across the screen dramatically, you'll see that it is no longer residing in the area of shame in the profit chart. Rather, it is now challenging for the lead, although it's got a little way to go just yet. Very heartening to see that the steel shipping line is bringing in quite a hefty amount of cash, but it is still Interlaken to Frugli. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it begins with Fru. Yes, is leading the charge when it comes to profits. Now, I could easily add another train, as you can see. This will cause some of you great pain, I'm sure. I apologise for that. The number of passengers waiting, we could easily add another train onto here, but we're not going to. We're a little short on cash at the moment. If we pull up the Profitron here, you'll see that I've got 5 million quid's worth of loan still available to me. I've got £500,000 in the bank. I'm fighting the loan down a little bit this year, just purely so that I can spend it again. It's as good a reason as any. But we have bought 15 million quid's worth of new vehicles in the past year, and I mean, we haven't spent much on construction, which makes a change. So overall, we would be up just shy of 5 million quid, were it not for, let's pay that back, were it not for those vehicles that we bought. And this is good, but it still means that we have to wait for things to build up. So in today's episode, what we're going to do is I've got a couple of holes in the network that I need to plug, and this right here is one of them. Look at that lot. I think we can do something with that. Stick around, I'll do something with it. Right then, we're going to start this odyssey by looking at slag, of which we have 195 in stock. We also have, what have we got going on here? Okay, well, it's all going to the train line, but as you can see, we've got 394 coal stored up and no iron. Now, that's an imbalance, and when an imbalance exists, it largely means that, as you can see, there's not an awful lot of coal waiting up there. Now, it looks like the train might have just picked up So it will be at its lowest standing, lowest ebb, however you wish to describe it. Thank you. But we need that to keep ticking, because that's a very expensive train to keep running. And I'm just going to have a quick look and see how it's doing money-wise. Coal Mountain Heavy has only made 93 grand this year. It should be making much more than that. And it hasn't just picked up, because that was that was empty. So it's on its way up there now. 41 coal waiting. And the reason there's only 41 coal waiting is because there's no iron ore. We have a surplus of supply. Click on the right thing, man. It makes your story all the more entertaining. Yes, we have a surplus of supply when it comes to coal. Or rather, we have a shortage of supply when it comes to iron. And yet, there would appear to be plenty of iron waiting just here. The problem I've got is that I'm only running one train. So we've got a lot of slag waiting. We've got a fair amount of iron waiting. But, you know, where's the train? Well, the answer is it's probably halfway up the mountain. Here we go. The hillside. This isn't a mountain. Here it is right now. Now, I'm sure you remember me setting this up. At present, in order to save a couple of quid, we're running one train to deal with slag, and equally to deal with iron ore. Now, the good news, or I think it's good news, is that it does actually make a profit. The less good news is it's not hauling anywhere like the amount I need it to in order to keep the supplies flowing. And that's going to have a knock-on effect across other lines as well. Now, before I upgrade that, first I need to get more iron ore coming in. And as we work our way up the river, here's the iron section right here. Now, you see, no, what I was expecting was to see a surplus of iron kicking around, but there isn't any. There's 34 there. There's nothing waiting at the mine, which can only mean that I'm shipping quite a lot right now. So we're looking for steel shipping in Corporat. It's got 200 iron ore in transit, which is actually not very much. Okay, I've properly stalled this line then. And that amount of cattle waiting is a bit of a worry. That amount of food waiting is a bit of a worry. Everything's a bit of a worry. Okay, right. I suppose I ought to get to work fixing that. Right, what have we got waiting here? We've got tools waiting. Where are they headed? Interlaken Tools has got 68 waiting. But isn't that Interlaken just there? It is. Then what's your problem? You're the iron ore shuttle, good. And you are, well, firstly, you're ancient. I think we can possibly do an upgrade there, you know. No, wrong button. That's the one. All right, freight. Mac AC or the Benz. Or the Mac. The Mac's cheaper, yes, but slower. Right, we're going to go for the Benz. Replace them right now. I'm only running 2 vehicles on there. Well, that's not going to help either. Okay, right, let's bang another truck on there. If I can figure out where I last left a vehicle depot. I think that... No, that's trains, you fool. Here's one. Right, let's get another Benz going on that route. Not enough money. No, that's a downside. Oh, end of the month. Oh, flipping heck. All right, well, look, in order to keep things moving along, let's just get the money in now, shall we? Let's put another 2 on there. Interlaken, which is INT. I know, I do cryptic naming conventions, me. Tools, right, good. Okay, right, so that will eat the backlog here. It will also take care of some of these construction materials that we've got waiting. But there's got to be a bunch of tools kicking around somewhere, because it's the tail end of the chain, right? Now hold on. I see a problem. Right, what's waiting here? The Thunder fuel line is not getting it done. Well, again, I'm not surprised. The vehicles you're operating here, Chief, are just a smidge out of date. Let's do the same again. And honestly, upgrading to a Cannstatt? No. Switch them up, please. 3 vehicles. What's the backlog like? 80. Yes. I think that'll be okay. I think. Who do you work for? You're the Thun Lumber Road Haulage Network. Why are you not? Why is nobody upgrade? I'm sure I went through all this recently and upgraded you all to the latest and greatest vehicles, but evidently I didn't. Now I won't bother doing them right now because we've also got a surplus of lumber in operation. Here's another thing I wanted to show you. This is an opportune moment here. This beautiful train is only carrying. Well, it's not at capacity. And part of the reason it's not at capacity is because of areas like this where I've got a fuel build up. It's dropped my main supplies off. The upshot being, as a result, yes, as a result, we're not producing quite as much. See, this is Locarno fuel bulk, which is going to stop here to pick up fuel, and there's not a lot waiting. And it's not because there isn't demand in Locarno, far from it. It's because I've got it built up in other places, and so the system believes that I'm not doing a good enough job. I'm fairly inclined to agree. Right, iron's picked up again, which if we have a look at the... let's pay that back. If we have a quick look at the lines... will probably be because the steel shipping in Corpora has made a drop-off, which it has. And it's now bringing steel back in the opposite direction, which is great. Right, what are you packing? You're packing some steel, right? You are supposedly doing something with tools. All right, well, I'm going to believe you, but it doesn't feel right. Basically, I need to be thinking about cropping down the amount of stuff I've got hanging around, and I realise that the only thing I've bought so far is trucks, which is not the most exciting thing in the world. So we need to get some of this lot moving. I mean, look at all this. It's a disaster area. The fact that it's dropping so many off at a truck stop where I have one truck in operation just goes to show how badly this is running right now. What are you? You're carrying one steel. One. Yeah. You see, I got kind of a problem with that. Steel brick hauler. So yeah. So this is the same problem. Is that I've got two trains that are running all the way up the mountain, then all the way back down to the station, and then out and back, and up and back, and out and back, and so on. And they're just not getting it done fast enough. These little Great Western numbers, they're not the quickest. Equally, they're not the heaviest hauling. If I were to double the number of wagons here, we might be able to shove things along a little. Or were I to stick a faster train on there, that would also move things along. Or I could buy another train for each route and split the routes in half so that they're more dedicated. The only downside to that is I would not be able to, well, for a little while I would. Should we start that again? Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, the downside there is that pretty quickly there wouldn't be any iron ore to shift because this is a really quick route. And you need to pack trains out with a reasonable amount of stuff. They need to be hauling in reasonable quantities, otherwise it's just not going to work. What are you taking? You're packing steel down to the docks because you're more reliable than the train service at this point. This is all very problematic, and I'm going to need to spend my way out of trouble. It's still operating right now, which is why I'm gonna leave it alone for the moment. I want to see where my bottlenecks have formed. Now this looks like a slightly more. It is, you know, it's doing 8 at a time, so that's not a problem. Or it doesn't look like it's a problem. Lumber, we got just tons of the stuff. What are you taking? You're steel. You're on the lumber service. What's all this lumber waiting for? I would presume it's waiting for the lumber service. Yes, it is. 200, which is double the capacity of this chap. Now, here we go. Lumber plank tool service. He's currently carrying construction materials. If he doesn't drop these off, we've got problems. Okay, that was not a drop-off. We've got problems. Where did you get them from? Show me where you picked them up, because that does not compute. I find it hard to believe that they'd be dropped. Oh, maybe they... No, that should be okay. Lumber plank tool service, you're going to pick up. Okay, you are carrying iron, which is good. You know what? I should have titled this episode CSI Gothard Line. This tanker appears to be being towed. 51 steel on there. 64 planks. Okay. No fuel. 100 iron. Alright, where are all these... Where are these construction materials coming from then? Because you don't stop here. And there aren't any down there. Are they just coming from the sky? I don't fully understand. But you know what? I should be taking construction materials down here. Where are you dropping off? You're dropping off fuel and you're dropping off tools. And there's decent demand for that. Where's the truck stop? So much stuff moving around. I can hardly see it. There we go. Upper Locarno. Let's bring up the graph here. Good, yeah. So, I mean, that's got coverage both of industrial and it's got commercial as well. That should be fine. So, you know what? I'm going to set up a new route. Yeah, sure. If in doubt, set up a new route. That's my new motto. Before I do that, though, let's pay that down because the end of the year is rolling around and we might as well wait until that's passed before borrowing the money again. So, yeah, this is problematic. And also, well, it's not just problematic. It's also really enjoyable to fix it. You would deny yourself the pleasure of making stuff work if you got it right first time. That's my story. I am sticking with it. Right, okay, 1.5 million in the red is quite a lot. However, we spent we spent 16 and we only lost 9 last year. That's 7 million quid profit. That I can work with. Obviously, we're not going to make that kind of money this year because I'm going to spend it all quite quickly. But, you know, in theory, yeah, colour me cheerful. Right, you set the route up first, you numbskull. Put that there, burn transfer to Locarno West. We only need one ship on this. This is going to be BRN. This is not going to get a sexy title, this one. Shipping. Because I'm not entirely certain what it's going to ship. I would imagine it would be construction materials only, but at this stage I can't rule anything out. All of my goods seem to be just, you know, floating happily up and down the river. I can't say I mind because they're making money, but, you know, it would be nice to feel like I had some level of control over that. Right, 500,000 quid. I'll take one. Thank you very much. Set that on the Burn Locarno shipping line. Right, at some point in the next decade, that one will start doing its thing. Now, it occurs to me, now that we're, you know, approaching 20 minutes in here, that I promised we'd do something with aeroplanes in this episode. We're not ready for that yet. We've got problems to resolve first, because we're not out of the woods yet. I want to know. Fuel seems to have kicked off again. That's something at least. He's only carrying 2 lumber. Well, planks. He's carrying 2 planks. He's carrying 53 of them. And what are you packing? 90 of that. You've got 51. Such odd numbers. But it does look like we're clearing a backlog here in Thun. Also, while I'm in the area, I ought to. At some point, these bigger cities are going to require me to redevelop them, and honestly, it's going to cost me less if I do that sooner rather than later. Yeah, I know what I was thinking there. Sorry, I forgot to let you on the inner workings of the mind there for a moment. Is by crossing the road over to this side, maybe we could get some town growth going on there. But I don't think actually that's it's the most appropriate time to do so. Although the AI having done something over here, although I can't be certain that wasn't me. It's the kind of ugly nonsense that I get up to occasionally. Yeah, getting the city growing in a roundabout fashion would be beneficial. Right, I think I'm going to need another ship, and I think the ship in question is going to need to be the lumber plank tool service. So I'm going to put another one on that. which doesn't necessarily feel right, but given the amount of wood waiting there, I think it makes sense. So let's get that. Stick you on lumber plank. There you go. And then let's just leave that alone and see if it makes an impact. Now I could could is the wrong word at this point. What I should do is I should be putting more care and attention into actually balancing these things properly and doing some, time and motion studies into how long it takes to get from A to B and so forth. But we're not doing that. I don't like that all this is being dropped off here. Construction materials are all going... What? BRN Construction. Well, where the heck is BRN Construction? That's an odd name for a line. How about we give it a colour I actually understand. There we go. So construction materials going into town? You know how when you build a whole bunch of lines and can't remember ever doing it? Ah, that. Okay, right. Well, if that's the only problem there, then all I need to do is just up the tempo as far as the number of trucks are concerned. How many are we packing on here right now? 2. Oh well, let's just plumb another one in. Right. Does that look like that? No, that looks like a Benz. You, sir, get to work on the BRN construction line. Okay, fine, good. Right, go. Get on with it. Break that queue down for me, if you'd be so kind. Okay, right. Small problems being solved a piece at a time. Now then, what am I going to do vis-a-vis iron ore and slag? Because I don't imagine that the situation has improved here much. Apparently we've got 200 iron ore, steel rather, stored up there, which is also a bit of a concern, because that would do the power a good if we were to chuck it over onto the station here. Now, is there another option? I wonder if by sticking another train on here, for some reason a piece of slag's made it down here as well. I mean, it's the Wild West, folks. Until I lock these trains down with regard to what cargo they can actually be permitted to carry, anything could happen. But it is making cash. I mean, let's just consult the profit line here again. That's 3 of them over $1 million now. This is good. Who's in the Hall of Shame? Coal Mountain Heavy. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Although, if it makes a drop-off in the near future, which, based on the fact that it's carrying, it might well do, that'll probably pay for itself immediately. Vit's now to Ingerbol. Okay. Why are you losing money? Oh, because you haven't got any passengers on board. All right. That needs extending. Extending that to another town will sort that one out. BRZ Fuel Bulk. Yes, because my fuel is stalled. Okay. Locarno Fuel Bulk. Intriguing. Maybe I need to pick up some more. Well, where are you picking up from? I thought this was Thun. Yeah, here we go. BRZ Fuel Bulk and Locarno Fuel Bulk. Not a lot actually sitting there. Maybe I'm not actually delivering enough. And that we could actually be picking up the tempo quite significantly in order to keep it moving around. What are you picking up for me there? You're dropping off tools? I would hope you're dropping off tools. Speak to me. What's it going to be? My goodness, these things don't dock in a hurry, do they? Come on. In your own time. Nope, still going. Come on. You're ruining what would make a great screenshot. Just telling you. That was worth $3,000. You only dropped 2 off. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't worth you docking now, I would suggest. Right, you there. Small warrior. What sort of money are you making? You're trickling it in. This is fine. Okay, where are you off to? steel. I ought to paint the ships differently as well. Then I'd possibly be able to recognise what the heck was going on. Right, enough dithering. Let's do something actually meaningful, because I mean, chipping away by a small amount at a time is it's a happy way to spend your time. I'll tell you that. I mean, you know, I'm enjoying this quite a lot, but I don't think it's necessarily making the finest entertainment ever seen. What have we got here? LZN, that's Luzerne. Luzerne Food Bulk, 178. Currently waiting. How many ships in service? There's one. Well, if we ask the line, it'll tell us. We've got 2 ships in service at the moment. And you are packing the maximum amount before dropping it off here, where it's going to be shipped out quite rapidly. We've also got... Oh, I see. We're actually shipping to 2 lines there. Good. That's good. At least that we're running a Benz. That's not a Benz. Beg your pardon. It's a Mack. At least we're running a truck that you know, knows what's up. Now we could also add, and this is playing with fire, surely. We could add another dock up here and set up several lines in order to service it. Now those lines would be pretty lengthy. But frankly, I am loving the amount of ships I've got coming up and down the river, and therefore having more of them is a good thing. I like the looks of Ennetbergen, although we could come all the way up the end here and have some kind of ludicrous distribution centre going on. It's not going to be cheap, though, I'll tell you that. No, it really isn't going to be cheap. I'm going to do it, though. It's also going to take quite a long time, so I'm going to need... I am going to need several ships on this route. Right, now then, what do we like as far as a distribution centre is concerned? Now, I'm only going to deliver to Beckenried initially, and I can hear you all going, well, why don't you just place it a little bit closer to Beckenried then, you fool? Because eventually I will not only be distributing to Beckenried. I would have thought that was painfully obvious. Right, okay, right. Fling that up there. Too much slope. You're not joking there. Right, let's put that in there. Let's find us a suitable distribution hub type deal. Right, come on. Give me a bit of news here. Can you sit there and be happy? Or how about the other side of the road? Hey, you never know, that might work. You in range? You are in range. Or are you? You are now, that's for sure. Alright, there we go. It's 100 grand, but 100 grand well spent. Okay, smashing. Now, let's keep this simple. So, if we've got Beckenried here, what I want is somewhere that overlaps both commercial and industrial. And I know that bus station would do the trick, but I'm not dropping anything at a passenger stop. It's like a law. That is the reason that we're not doing that. I could bulldoze that and get reasonable coverage there if we use the small truck stop. Let's have a look. Or can I? No, I don't think it's going to fit. I can't even tell. Oh, the road's the other way. Right. There's the road. Too much slope. 5 buildings will be removed. No, that's take your finger away from the mouse button. That's how errors occur. No, I don't like that. What about over here? How are we going to get enough industrial coverage? 3 buildings, 2 buildings. It might be 2 buildings, but the price isn't far off what I'm prepared to pay. 3, no. 1. Look, 1 building. I'm prepared to sacrifice 1 building to the gods of commerce. No. What about your neighbour? Still 2 buildings. Oh, I saw 1. There we go. 1 building will be removed. Right, show me catchment. Catchment's great. Place it. There we go. Right, and that's how the deal is made. Right, and a line here. I'm not even sure where I am. Where are we? Ennetbergen. Is that where we are? You're not going to tell me while I've got the... oh, it's Beckenried. Okay. Right. So we'll call this BEC distribution. Given that I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be distributing, but there's going to be plenty of it, I would imagine. I'm going to set the trucks in motion immediately, despite the fact they'll be running empty for a little while. If I can find somewhere... oh, here we go. You'll sell me some trucks, won't you? Buy these. I don't need it to go super fast, so we'll run max on this. Beck distribution. There we go. Off you trot. Unable to find path to stop. Well, that's because some fool has severed the road. All right, let's unsever the road. Do we want to follow the curve? All right, no. Let's make this scenic. I may even bulldoze that bit. Look at this traffic. Oh no, or don't, as the case may be. Right. Right, we'll have that bit there. Now, if this works, I'm going to describe it as a strange old trick that I have learned. Is that if you join up two pieces of road, it actually performs quite a nice curve in between the two of them. So, so if you're trying to get a curve around something, place the two ends, then place the middle bit, and it will usually link up quite nicely. Doctors hate him. He has discovered this one simple trick. You get the idea. Right, now, are we dropping any goods here in Altdorf? Because I want Altdorf to be growing down there. We've got a commercial area growing, which is nice. I'm going to set this up as well. There seems to be... I mean, we've got good catchment here, most definitely. I don't really want to pay 600 grand for a tiny little truck stop. 9k, however, is much more within budget. Now, this is I accept this is not the most dramatic building episode I have ever conducted. However, what it is doing is it's not spending a vast amount of money, so it is allowing me to build up a certain amount of fundage, which I do want to use on introducing flight. Which is it's going to be expensive because the first airport I intend to build will be on top of a mountain. And the leveling costs associated with that are going to be pretty big. Yeah, so that's the reasoning going on there. Now let's also I've had a secondary thought here too. Now I'm pondering whether what might work here. What? Ingerbol Exchange. You're next to Beckenried. Ingerbol's the other is the other side of the river. Is the other side of the river. Don't give me flipping Ingerbol Exchange, indeed. I'm going to have to go and rename that. Right, what are we doing here? Are you a drop-off or are you a pick-up? You can't possibly be a pick-up. That's got to be a drop-off. Yeah. Okay, here's the business end of things. Right, so that one there. Yes. So this is going to be BEC food bulk. Right, we're done with those. Those two are good, the distribution lines, and then we'll put another one there. Now these are going to. I'm hopeful that this is going to run fast enough. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. There, see, for a moment there, I thought I'd built two docks down that end, but I wasn't thinking. Right, here, what do we got here? We've got tools, we've got machines. I didn't realise we were making machines, but that's great. Right, Interlaken, out to Ingerbol. Right, which isn't Ingerbol. I'm going to rename that right now. I'm definitely going to need multiple ships on each of these. That's a given. So this is Beck. Let's call this machinery bulk. And then I could go one more. The difficulty we're going to have here is... yeah, sorry, I'm too busy studying all the myriad icons going on. The difficulty we're going to have here is that there is a risk that these lines are so long that I'm going to need to stick at some kind of interstitial on the go. Oh, right. Hello, chaps. Let's get you rolling, shall we? Since you're still stuck in there. Alt distribution. I went to the effort of putting you a road in. We might as well make use of it. I haven't put anyone on Beck distribution, right? And you didn't rename the port either. What's the matter with you? Goodness me, scatterbrained is hardly the word for it. Now, what do they want? Do they want fuel or do they want construction materials? Well, we've just started dealing with construction materials down that side, so we're going to go with fuel. Plus, it adds another tanker to the mix, right? So that's all good. There we go. Look at this. This is all great. I absolutely love the amount of ships we've got going on here. This is tremendous. Right, Beck, fuel, bulk. Right, we need to fill those lines out. We also need a couple of trucks in Beck and Reed, which I thought I had. That's Altdorf distribution. Yes, we didn't put any on Beck and Reed distribution. Right, buy road vehicles. Let's go with 2. Because if this pays off, these chaps will be kept nice and busy. Beck distribution. I'm pretty sure I got that right. I haven't just put like double the amount on there, have I? Trying to keep all of this stuff in short-term memory is clearly not paying off for me. Nope, that's all good. Right, okay, smashing. Let's buy me some ships. Now, given the distances involved here, we're going to need a couple of ships on there. For fuel distribution, I think we'll chance 1 Vandal, because I doubt we'll be able to do any better than that. Beck, fuel, bulk. That's a very handy bit of menu placement you've done for me there. Thank you. Come here. All right, Beck, fuel, bulk, and then we'll stick. We'll go with a couple of Klondikes on whatever it was, machinery or food, which is closer. Machinery is further away, so we'll stick those on machinery bulk. I hadn't finished. One more. And we'll stick this on the food bulk. Now, it's going to be ages before we see how well those pay off, but as I regularly mention, ships are one of my favourite means of moving cargo around, not because they're quick, because they're not, but because when they arrive, they usually pay off to such an extent that it easily offsets both the running cost and well, it covers everything. There is only the running cost. It easily covers the running cost, so they make good profit no matter what. And then because they're tying into additional transportation chains, you make good money all along the way. Now, where's the chap who's picking up from the 420 odd livestock we've got waiting here? Because I suspect he might be just a little bit archaic. Let's have a look. When were you upgraded? So we're running an Austrian on here by the looks of it. Cannot complain about that for a shot. Or for the amount of wagons we've got going on. What have we got here? 62 food. So, oh, actually, that'll carry 100. All right, we're definitely not complaining. All right, fine. That seems to be working nicely. All right, for my final trick, what we shall do is we shall up this Great Western slag hauler here. I am reluctant to do so. Let's have a look at what we should upgrade it to. That's the thing. Locomotives. Right, it's currently packing in 40. Now, the Crocodile will be making an appearance. Probably not on this line. However, we could get the Baden running, which is a little bit stronger. 360 versus 540. Yes, let's do that. And then wagons, we need open wagons. And we've got these ones that are reasonably new. Now, these will do 120. The Baden itself will only do 90. But that's still faster than 80. Oh, 380. It's like I'm paying 130,000 bucks extra. because 2 of those, which will transport 8, is 250k, right? This is 500 and... No, this is 380k. So I'm paying an extra 130 grand to go 10 kilometers an hour faster. Oh, what a dilemma. I could put gondolas on there. I mean, that's really throwing the cat amongst the pigeons, given that gondolas are US. No, this will make enough money, and that's how we're going to roll. Right, okay, what do we want? They carry 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go, that'll do it. 5.5 million quid to get that one in service. I want to replace it now, please. I need 3.35. There you go, I've got that. Buy it. Yep, make it happen. Now that will move things along. Again, you know, I've got 2 million left as far as loan capacity is concerned. We're in June. I'm down 5 million. I've spent 7, so I'm only 2 million up so far this year. But hopefully, if this pays off, we'll be able to increase that revenue quite quickly. Let's watch the handover here. Now, I have still got a Great Western that is running the end supply here, so the construction materials down to the docks, and then steel down to the docks as well. Let's track along. This was a good choice. This is a handsome-looking beast. Plus, it's more variety, and more variety is good. We like variety in these parts, which is why we do it. It might have been a better shout actually to put a crocodile, or 2 in fact, on this route, but I'm not giving up on Steam until it becomes completely untenable. Anyway, that will wrap it up for today. Not a massive amount of progress, but it's all important progress. This is all about you know, helping to make sure that all of these goods chains keep working effectively. Because once you start getting more complicated with things, you lose the ability to keep your eye on it. And there's no such thing as, you know, fire and forget when it comes to this stuff. You have to fire and then forget and then fix it. There you go, you can use that. You can have that one on me. That's almost sloganator worthy. Fire and forget and fix it. Yeah. It's right up there with measure once, cut once, bulldoze everything. Anyway, thank you for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. I'm desperate to get planes on the go. I really want to get planes on the go. But if I invested heavily in that now, we'd have a hell of a lot of trouble actually making it stick if the goods came unstuck, as it were. And once we've got planes in business, then we can look to tackle our first in-town bit of modernisation with a bit more linking up. I think that's what we'll probably go for. Anyway, chuck a like at this one if you enjoyed it. A little bit patchy, I admit, but worth it. You know, delivered with flair and verve. And this chap is going to come pick up some of this iron that's been waiting around. Chuck a like at it. Subscribe if you're not done so already. I'll be back very soon with more of the same. Thank you for watching. Here she comes. Beautiful. Cheerio.